All right, so a couple things. First of all, I'll tell you, I was out at the club. I was out at Norbeck yesterday, Case,
Very
of course,
nice.
hitting
Good.
balls, and
Yep.
people come up to me, and everyone's talking about, are they going to trade Chase? I mean, everyone.
It's
And
the
then
topic du jour.
and you go online and you type in Commanders, and you get articles, and they're like multiple outlets suggesting, like USA Today, Pro Football, whatever, all suggesting the Commanders should trade Chase Young. Like, and they feel like the Commanders and the Broncos, those are the teams I'm
They're
reading.
in sell mode.
Very much, they think, are the most likely to be making moves.
Right.
I have to tell you, and I said it yesterday, I don't think they're going to make a move. I think Ron is desperate to win now, and I don't see Josh and company swooping in and meddling midseason. I don't see it. Could be wrong. So I'm going to go against the grain. I know you guys all think that there probably will be a move. I don't see it.
No, I don't believe they will.
I think there could potentially be a move.
I think there could be. I don't think it's likely because in the NFL's hardly any trades.
Remember yesterday I said, if anything, why don't they add to the offensive line since it's struggling?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think it's more likely if they lose. If they lose and they drop to 3 and 5.
Yeah, they lose.
I mean, Josina Anderson's reporting
They're
that
not going to
teams
give up on the season.
Josina Anderson's reporting that teams are calling them, inquiring for both Chase Young and Montez
John
Sweat.
Keim
I believe
reported-
these are credible stories.
They are credible. John Keim reported that they've been calling him for 6 months.
It's look, it's going to be potentially a defining moment in the Josh Harris, Magic Johnson ownership if they do trade. If they do trade, none of us are going to believe it's from Ron Rivera. We're going to believe it's from Josh Harris.
Ron's not going to go out there and have a Mike Shanahan presser and say, we're evaluating. We're in evaluation mode.
No.
He's in survival mode.
Right. He's not going to do that.
No.
And I don't think Harris is going to swoop in and meddle.
I think Harris could have, this is just a theory.
Not in his first
I think
season.
Harris could essentially have a shadow GM right now. Not a GM in name or in place, who's essentially overseeing what's happening.
Him.
And he's basically saying, hey, this is what you should do.
Right.
And maybe the should do is trade away somebody you're not going to sign for something.
Right. If he's not in the long-term plans, get something for the
I
asset.
think it's very plausible.
And they might be,
I just don't see it.
you know, as we're going to talk about Sam Howell in a little bit, they may be assessing it and saying, hey, this is what we're going to need to do in the future moving forward. Because I do believe Josh Harris, Mitchell Rales, all those guys, they want to bring a championship to Washington. I do believe they're genuine fans of the team. They grew up in the area. They want to deliver it. But they may realize that this team, led by Ron Rivera, it's not happening, and that eventually they're going to retool, and draft picks are valuable.
Or, you might be right, or he could be talking to his people and talking to Ron and talking to the coaching staff and Bieniemy. They still think they have a legit chance to get to the playoffs as a wild card because the NFC just isn't that great, and there's going to be 4 or 5 teams hunting for that 7th wild card.
They're not going to wave the white flag, even at 3 and 5.
And they're going to say, all right, well, if we're going to make the playoffs, we need guys like Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
Right.
I think that thought process of there are no trades in the NFL, that's from years past. Last year, there were 15 trades in the final week leading up to the trade deadline.
Is that a lot, though?
In the 1 week? Yeah.
For the NFL, I guess.
It's a lot.
I know with the NFL it is, but like compared to other sports, I don't think that's a lot. Yeah.
There used to be, I mean, remember William Jackson was traded last year at the deadline.
Roquan Smith.
Calvin Ridley, Zach Moss.
2 years ago, Marcus Peters.
There might be a couple big names.
I'm just going on the record. I'm on the record, and you can make fun of me. They're not going to make a dramatic trade.
I think if they get blown out by Philly, then
they're going to wave the white flag.
That could be impetus for Harris and, like JP mentioned, his shadow GM, whoever's consulting him at this point, going forward, might step in and say, 3 and 5, it's a disaster. We're not keeping both Sweat and Chase Young next year. So let's get something in return.
Philly if you trade one, you're not really raising the white flag.
Philly added Byard. I mean,
I'm not saying.
But they're
I'm not
aggressive.
the one saying that trades don't happen.
They're aggressive.
I'm saying the new owner who's been here an hour isn't going to swoop in and meddle.
I'm with you.
He's gonna let Ron dig his own grave.
He may.
Well, I think it's already dug. That grave is dug.
I think it is, but miracles do happen. Let's they do still have, like, even after this loss this week, which is 97% likely, they still have 9 more games. Like, they're going to let them play it out. That's what I really think. They're going to let them play it out unless they just keep losing. You know, if it's like 3-7, 3-8,
Yeah.
then maybe.
Here's another situation that we don't really know.
Promote somebody.
Here's the other situation which we don't really know. How much time is he spending on the Commanders? I know he went to a couple games. He's got a situation with the 76ers right now where they've got a guy who makes like $50 million a year who refuses to play for
if
him.
I'm Josh Harris, I'm telling Daryl Morey that this is your problem. This is why I'm paying you the big dollars, that you need to handle this.
I think
He's
that's
got-
a factor.
He's got the New Jersey Devils. I understand that he's had these teams in place, but we don't know. That's like, I think, Drab,
most owners aren't hands-on, though. Most owners, other than Jerry Jones, most owners are just, they have their teams and they do stuff.
I know, but when it comes to trades, like our theory, like, I don't know. I don't think it's likely.
Is involved in trades. I don't think so.
No, but if somebody comes to him and says, this is what we should do,
They come to the GM.
I don't think that the GM or Ron Rivera want to trade Chase Young during the season.
Right.
But I think he may have somebody who says, this is what you should do, and he might sign it off
All right,
and say,
do you-
this is what we're going to do.
Of course, it's possible. But do you think if you had to put money on it, are they going to
If I
trade
had to
Chase
put
Young?
money on it, I would
No.
say no.
Right. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I'm
no.
saying maybe they're having discussions.
But I don't think it's like 99% he won't get
No,
traded.
no,
I think it's
I'm not
probably
gonna
like
put-
60-40.
I can't put a percentage on it. I just I don't
What
think
about
they're
Montez?
completely giving up.
What about-
Same thing.
So you don't, okay.
How many trades
I
have
mean,
there
what I
been so
don't
far
know-
this year? There have been 2.
Maybe.
How many trades have there been? Byard went from Tennessee to Philly. Was there one more I'm missing?
I don't
There'll
know.
probably be 10 or 12.
What I don't know,
Derrick Henry might get traded.
and what none of us know is, have the agents had conversations with the organization about signing a deal in the future?
That sounds like no.
What's been
According to the
reported is
reports
no,
from The
not
Athletic.
since the season
And do
started.
Montez
nothing.
and Chase have the same agent?
I don't know that.
I don't believe
I
so.
don't think so.
I don't think they have the same representation.
Yeah. I don't
Mhm.
think so. Anyway, Jason and I don't think anything's going to happen. JP doesn't think anything's going to happen, but he's kind of couching it because he says he thinks it's
Look,
also
I'm not
very
saying there's
likely
not
could
going to be
happen.
a trade. I just don't think it's going to be Chase.
Right. I don't think it's going
I
to be
see
a
that they share
massive
the same
trade.
agent, by
Like
the
they
way.
could trade, I don't know, some guy that hasn't quite panned out. That's, you know, like they did.
Is it
with William
impossible to
Jackson.
trade to upgrade the roster? Is it impossible to be a buyer?
I love the idea.
What if you
What
trade
you're
for a
saying
DB?
Is actually getting me excited.
What if you trade for another corner?
I don't see them as being
What if
buyers.
they traded Chase? Now I'd be on board for this for like a premier, like maybe mid 20, you know, like close
A
to
tackle?
like 28, 29-year-old
Tackle or guard?
That-
Hell,
That could be something.
I don't know. I don't know
If
who's
you're
on
not,
the.
would
if you're
almost
not
rather
planning
have
on
some
signing Chase,
dumb third-round pick.
if you're not going to have Chase here next year and somebody wants him and the compensation is right, I have no problem moving him.
This is from a couple years ago, but Ben Standig of The Athletic reported that both Sweat and Young are represented by Demarius Bilbo of Clutch Sports.
Okay. So
Oh, they are. Okay.
And so what we don't know is whether Demarius Bilbo of Clutch Sports, if they are both still with him, has signaled to the team that they're going to leave via free agency, or if they've said, here's what our demands are. That's, you know, let's say Chase Young wants $20 million a year. I mean, the team certainly wasn't convinced that he was good enough to give him an extension. Health, performance, whatever. And with Montez Sweat, they could have given him a deal. They haven't. So maybe the team feels like we're going to lose these guys. Let's get something for them.
No, I think that.
I think it actually would be the right move.
That's
To
what a
me,
lot
the
of
right
people
move
think.
is move them.
I think it's lose-lose. I think it's
The
I
defense,
think they're going to end up lose-lose.
the defense is ranked 29th right now. You know what? Get something for these guys. Plan for the future. Get some draft picks and play Two Hill and play James Smith-Williams.
I wonder
Blow it
though.
all up.
All right, let me throw out this scenario. Let's say they do
You
that.
kind of like Two Hill, don't you?
I like to.
Give him more snaps.
Probably not as a starter. Not playing 80% of the snaps. Probably not.
They got
He's
they got
pretty athletic.
they got Obata back too.
Yeah.
F.A. Obata. You know, you got guys.
Yeah, Two Hills actually impressed me. He impressed me last year when Chase went down. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. Okay, here it is. Let's say they do that. Let's say your scenario, and I think that this happens. I guarantee you he has guys looking at every aspect of the organization,
Sure.
right? Every aspect. So he's got a shadow GM already, and the shadow GM says, yeah, we're not going to keep these guys. Let's go ahead and move it.
And they
he
may
goes,
just be
hold
number
on.
crunchers. He
I
says
get
he's a
it,
number
I get it, I
cruncher.
get it. I'll stipulate to your hypothetical. He goes into Ron and goes, listen, Ron, I know, you're trying. It's all about winning right now, but I got to look to the future. So we're going to trade Chase. So just we're talking to Marty, and we're going to get the best deal we can get for Chase, just so you know, and maybe Montez too. Does Ron then say, okay, or does he say, if you do that, I quit, or you know what I mean?
He's not quitting on another year and a half.
Or
of
does
his
he
salary.
say, if you do this, I'm going to go public and I'm going to say, you know what I mean? Like, how's Ron going to react? Or is Ron just going to tuck tail and walk or what?
I mean, at the end of the day, he's an employee.
He
right?
is.
If he wants to quit,
But
he can
he's
quit.
supposedly
But as Cakes
in
is pointing
charge
out,
of personnel.
Right.
I believe he has full say. So
according to who?
I think that's kind of what he negotiated.
That was his
right?
old
According
deal.
to who? Dan Snyder?
Well, I'm
Now, if
saying
he
I
has an
understand the
iron-
situation has changed.
If he has an ironclad deal where he has that, even if there's
Yeah.
new ownership coming in, and he could just go to Josh Harris and say, okay, you can strip me of my personnel
I think
duties
it's
if you
possible.
want, but you're still going to pay me all of the money that's left of my
Yeah,
deal.
right.
I can see him doing that.
I just think it's a scenario. I think Ron took this job, and you heard Doc talk about it. They gave him all the control. They got Gibbs to sign off on it. Give him all the control. He gets all the say. So now you're suppositioning or whatever that the owner's going to come in and take that away from him.
Yes.
I don't think
There could be a problem.
I think the owner is going to wait until the end of the year, and that's when he's going to make his wholesale changes.
I agree with you.
Probably
I think
right.
I don't think he's going to make any changes.
I think he's going to let Ron dig the world's biggest
No, I'm
grave
talking
for
about
himself.
major changes. I could see them making a couple small moves here and there. I mean, what if someone really wants Jacoby Brissett?
Okay.
Or what if
What
somebody
if the
calls-
Cleveland Browns say, you know what,
Right, we had
Deshaun
him
Watson,
last year,
we had
right.
him, Deshaun Watson, we don't have any faith in him in
Yeah.
staying healthy, and we can't go with who's there,
PJ
Walker.
Yeah.
Jacoby's a better backup. What if they
Or
make
what
a
if
deal like
somebody
that?
wants Kendall Fuller?
Yeah, or something.
You
Yeah.
know what? You can have him. Again,
Exactly.
Although
like
he's
JP
been
said,
good.
That's not a
29
big deal.
29th
Even though he's been
ranked defense.
fine.
In my opinion, when you have basically the 30th ranked defense in the league, you can have anybody off of the
Right.
team.
I agree with
Anybody
that.
you want.
I just think if you're going big picture, and again, speculation, trust the process was with Josh Harris. They may be trying to completely rebuild and start with draft picks, and acquiring draft picks might be what you can do with Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
I think what you're saying is logical, but I also think he doesn't want to come in and look like an impetuous owner.